Good morning, gamers. I'm Gregory. This is 1 in 20 D&D, and welcome to another DnDaily here. Quick report, of course, for the Critical Role Kickstarter. They are currently at $6.8 million pledged with over 57,000 backers. That is amazing. Wow. I mean, one could only wish that they would have a Kickstarter that successful, right? I mean, that is amazing. Congratulations. I can't wait to see where this continues to go. I'm enjoying the ride so far. So, on to other fun and interesting things. So, I had mentioned earlier this week that I was going to talk about this little beauty. There she is. This is my DVD. It's got 9 episodes of the Dungeons and Dragons animated series. Anyway, that was one of the things that got me started playing Dungeons and Dragons. And I mean, it is so cool that it is now available on DVD. There's 9 episodes on that, but I believe there are more than 9 episodes. I have to check. I'm not 100% sure about that. I should probably have, maybe I should do research before I do these videos. See, these videos are so off the cuff, so like it's just a vlog of me doing my thing. So I think going forward, maybe I should probably try to have something ahead of time and then do a little, a little prep work on that might help these be a little more fact filled. Like that's important. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, the D&D anime series. So what's fascinating to me is one that is cool and available for anyone to watch now, which is awesome because when we were little kids, once something was on TV. See, this is a difference from where things are at today and where they were when I was a little kid. And I know I'm going to sound like an old man. I'm just going to make an interesting observation. Me being a child of the 70s, grew up in the 80s, television was part of our existence, and video games became a part of our existence because, like, the Atari and then the Nintendo and all that stuff, I grew up with that. But when we were little kids, if there was a show on TV, you either watched it or you didn't. And if you didn't, you prayed, you crossed your fingers and hoped and wished they might do a rerun. Reruns. Anybody know what a rerun is, right? So they would occasionally they would show something, and if it had some kind of popularity to fill slots, the TV stations would run them again. The same shows, but they would run them again sometime in the future. And probably lots of us grew up watching reruns of older shows like The Brady Bunch or whatever, just whatever it happened to be. I know they did that a little bit with cartoons because a lot of times, like, they'd have the season of the cartoon in, say, the spring, and then in the fall you'd be able to catch it, but it would be at like a different time slot or something like that. So, or they would only do it a couple of episodes or something like this. So anyway, nowadays, I mean, with streaming and all this kind of stuff, a lot of stuff, TV, what's that? I don't even, does anybody even watch TV anymore? I mean, there's 2 shows on cable that I'm interested in. One is The Orville, which is a hysterically funny and awesome, like, sci-fi. If you like Star Trek and all that, it's a pretty cool. It's Seth MacFarlane's version of Star Trek. Pretty cool, pretty interesting, really well done in my opinion. The only other show besides that I care about is like Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Everything else I want to watch is on demand. It's on Netflix, or I can find it on YouTube, or I can find it on the internet somewhere. Now, I haven't gotten into Game of Thrones. I've watched 1 season of Game of Thrones. And I know, I know it's like, that's D&D, and that's fantasy, and that's... Yes, yes, and yes. You have to pay for it, and I'm a cheap bastard on some levels, I guess. months or something. And I don't like to pay for that stuff. Like, there's so much available. I pay for my internet. That's what I do. I pay for my internet. I have fast internet, and that's what I want to use. And I just haven't gotten myself around to watching all of Game of Thrones yet. And partly it was because I had read the first novel, so I watched the first season, but I hadn't read beyond the first novel, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to spoil the novels. I want to read the novels, but I just haven't gotten to reading. They're monstrous novels, so I haven't gotten through them, so I didn't watch them. But the Dungeons and Dragons animated cartoon, back to what I was talking about at the beginning here, is something meaningful to me that I will pretty much watch anytime. And the reason I'm so excited, the reason I'm super, super so excited about what Critical Role is doing is that it's legitimizing the fact that there are thousands of us, tens of thousands of us, possibly, probably hundreds of thousands of us in this world that want more Dungeons and Dragons animated shows. Like, I would eat that up if there, like, here, I'm going to share something with you. There are anime out there that you can find if you are not aware of something called Record of Lodoss War. Check it out. Record of Lodoss War is an amazing show. It's an anime. It was done years ago, but it was essentially like a D&D campaign. It was pretty intense and really well done. So if you want that's a little more of a, slightly more of an adult story. Like, the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon was for kids. Plain and simple. It was for kids. It was very formulaic, just like the old style the old style cartoons were very formulaic. It was kind of the same thing and over and over every episode. That's just the way they did things, but they were still fun and entertaining. So an adult watching these now, if you had never seen them, you might get bored pretty quickly. But on the other hand, if you watch something like Record of Lodoss War, that is a pretty engaging series, and I'm saying that as an adult. Like, as an adult, it's a pretty good series. And of course, I love D&D, so it's easy to watch. So now we're going to have Critical Role. I'm really curious. I'm wondering how they're going to... Oops. Sorry about that. Hey, it's 11:11. What does that mean? No, they're going. This is the try. I'm still struggling. Do I edit that out? Do I leave it in? I'm just gonna leave it in. An alarm went off. So what? Anyway, so Critical Role. What are they gonna do? Are they going to make it for adults? So they're gonna have like adult language and cursing and that kind of thing with a very intense, like, heavy duty animation style and that kind of stuff, or are they going to make it, I don't want to say, are they going to make it accessible to a larger audience, or appropriate? That's probably the best word. Are they going to make it appropriate for a larger audience? Like, their show, I want to share their show with my son, but a lot of times they swear, and I don't want him hearing that stuff. I just don't. Whereas there are certainly bits and pieces that I could probably share with him, the story and so forth, but he's not super interested in it right now. So that's fine. But at some point he might be, and I would love to share it with him. And I'm curious, like, obviously there's plenty of parents that are critters that share Critical Role with their kids. There are lots of families that are into Critical Role, which is super cool and amazing. I mean, what's even cooler is there are families that are starting to play D&D together. You know, that is kind of like, I guess, a little bit of a dream of mine. I'm lucky because I've gotten to play D&D with my brother. Like, he and I played D&D forever. We actually started playing D&D together, basically. And now we do other games, like you've heard him in our Car Wars games that I have on my station here, and or my YouTube channel here, and also in the Battletech RPG that we're playing. He's part of that. So on one level, I get to play with my family. And on another level, my gaming groups, in a sense, are kind of like family. Like, they're my tribe, right? That's my tribe. My D&D groups are like partly, they're like, that's my tribe. That's what's happening, right? We're creating these new tribes. Even if they're digital, that's what they are. Families, you know? Our D&D family. So, and it's growing and it's getting better and it's evolving, and I'm excited to see where everything goes. And I love every minute of it so far. Hey, it's Friday. I am going to go take care of some stuff and have a great day with my son. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I'll be back again tomorrow with another DnDaily, and I'm working on editing part 2 of the session of Agic that I released this week, so I can get 2 videos out this week. I'm working on it. I'm working on that challenge. I'm going to stick to it as best I can. Hopefully I'll be getting to a point very quickly where you have 2 good, awesome, fun gaming videos coming from me every week. And in the meantime, see you at the table someday. Keep rolling 20s. And you know what? If you haven't noticed, if you don't follow me on Instagram, you might not know this yet, or Twitter or whatever, but I got another thing that I've started. It's sort of my new kind of slogan. So I probably will keep, keep rolling 20s because that's important. But here's a new one for you. I'm going to say to you, it's your game. Play your way. See you next time.